All right. Well, we got some additional examples we want to show from 11.3 that I want to show, and it's just some more advanced stuff that we can do. And so for some of you, you may want to watch this and see where it takes you, okay? So again, multiplying fractions, we're going to go to page 24, and we're going to be working on problems 13 through 16. Now, I don't have enough space for what I want to show you, so I'm going to have my notes out from that I've already created my header for right here. Name, date, period, title of the lesson. You might have already have your virtual nerd notes right there. So we're going to look at, start with number 13. And for that one, we have 5/6 times 3/7. Now, remember, the way we were taught before, that the way we've been taught is that it's numerator times numerator over denominator times denominator. And now that doesn't change. So that's 5 times 3 over 6 times 7. But what we can do is take advantage of the commutative property of multiplication, which says the order in which we multiply two numbers doesn't matter. So I'm going to take and switch the order of the numerator from 5 times 3 to 3 times 5, and that's still over 6 times 7. Now, some of you might have noticed already that when you look at this, you have 3 over 6 times 5 over 7. Well, 3 over 6 can be reduced, right? We can think of 3 over 6 as 1 over 2. And then we have, well, let's go ahead and move to a new line so we don't totally run out of space. No, we can fit it. We get 1 times 5 over 2 times 7, which is 5 over 14. Okay, so 5/6 times 3/7 is 5/14. Now, I'm going to show you this one more time so you can see what we're doing, and then I'm going to show you how it can speed up. It can speed up some of the work you're doing. And that's why I consider it a slightly more advanced technique, because you're simplifying before you do your multiplication. And you need to be good with multiplying fractions before you do that step, because you could get tripped up. Now, we're looking at number 14. We have 3/5 times 11/12. All right. So again, numerator times the numerator. 3 times 11 over 5 times 12. We're going to use that commutative property in the numerator. So we have 11 times 3 over 5 times 12. 11/5 is not a fraction that we can simplify any further, but 3/12 is. 3/12 is the same as 1/4, right? And now we're left with 11 times 1 in the numerator and 5 times 4 in the denominator. 11 times 1 is 11, and 5 times 4 is 20. Notice our product is in its simplest form, and we're done. I know, right? This is good stuff, isn't it? Okay, so now that we've seen kind of like the math behind what we're doing, we can use some shortcuts. Don't ever use a shortcut unless you know the math behind the shortcut. So we're going to use the shortcuts now with number 15, which is 4/10 times 2/5. Now remember, we want numerator times numerator over denominator times denominator. And what we've done in the previous two problems is then use the commutative property to change the order of the numerator. So in this case, what we're looking at is 2/10 times 4/5. So 2 over 10, that simplifies. 2 over 10 simplifies to 1 over 5. 4/5 is in its simplest form, so now we can go and say 4 times 1 in the numerator over 5 times 5 in the denominator. And 4 times 1 is 4, 5 times 5 is 25. And there, our product is in its simplest form. Let's do this one more time. Oh, McCrum, you're off the screen. Look at that. I went through the whole problem and I was off the screen. I'm not recording this again. Mistakes happen, right? 4/10 times 2/5. 2 over 10 simplifies to 1 over 5. So we get 4 times 1 in the numerator, which is 4. And in the bottom denominator, we have 5 times 5, which is 25. And there's our product in its simplest form, 4/25. We'll do that again, though, right here. This time, I'm going to be on the screen, so we don't have that accident happen again. And we're going to look at number 16. So here we have 3/4 times, what is that? 2/9. All right. So again, we're looking to see if we can simplify numerator and denominator. So these 3/4 and 2/9 don't simplify, but 3 over 9 does. 3 over 9 is the same as 1/3. 2 over 4 is the same as 1/2. So what we're left with is 1 times 1 in the numerator and 2 times 3 in the denominator. Well, 1 times 1 is 1, and 2 times 3 is 6. So 3/4 times 2/9 is 1/6. All right? Remember, this is all because we're able to take advantage of the fact that multiplication is commutative. And this is a way, again, it's a slightly more advanced technique. It involves some shortcuts. We need to understand the math first before we use those shortcuts. All right?